Hey guys, my name is Kyle Harris. I'm currently a specialist in the Army Reserve, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about tips and tricks for going to basic training. I attended basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, so most of the things I'm going to be talking about apply directly to there. First thing I want to talk about is when you get there, you're definitely going to want to have good battle buddies. What I mean by that is surrounding yourself by the people that are actually mature. Making sure that you avoid the people that are getting into trouble, um, are on the drill sergeant's radars. That's not the kind of people you want to be surrounded by, especially in that environment. But keeping with the people that are um, high speed, mature, making sure that they stay out of trouble. It's going to save you a lot of trouble in the long run. Um, Second thing I want to talk about is understand that this is all mind game. A lot of times people go into basic training and they take what the drill sergeants say personally. They're offended or they have a chip on their shoulder almost. You gotta understand that you're essentially being paid to work out and to learn, um, and that the less you take to heart what the drill sergeants are saying and the more you're learning from them, the better off it'll be for you. Um, Understand that you're going to be told to do some really stupid stuff and it's not going to make any sense to you, but do it anyways because at the end of the day there is a purpose for it, even if you don't see it then. A lot of times we were told to do things that didn't make any sense at the time, but later on, kind of clicked, made sense. So another thing I want to add is you've got a lot of time before you go off to basic training. Make sure you're working on your PT. Do push-ups, sit-ups. Even give yourself a PT test. See where you stand. There's no reason really to not be prepared physically because that's something you can do for free. You have a lot of time to prepare for it, and they'll definitely be very strict about your PT. Make sure you're on top of that. Um, Another thing I want to add is each week you're going to be doing area beautification on Sunday, which basically means you're going to be mowing the lawns, picking the weeds. Make sure you always look busy. Don't be walking around talking to your battle buddies while everybody else is working, because if drill sergeant sees you, you're pretty much done for. They'll give you a special detail, special assignment, and that's not something you want, and that'll put you immediately on their radar too. Um, Make sure every day when you go off to PT, make sure you lock your wall locker. It's extremely important because drill sergeants will check and will throw your stuff. I had a buddy whose boots ended up in the toilet. So make sure you lock them up. Make sure all your stuff is secured. Don't be trying to throw things under your bed. They'll check. So just make sure everything's locked up and squared away. Um, I would recommend going ahead and starting to study early, be it the chain of command, your Army values, your general orders, your ranks, and your soldier's creed, because those are things you're going to have to memorize in Red Phase anyways, and having that knowledge before you get into basic training will kind of help you avoid having that stress on top of everything else you're worrying about. So definitely recommend doing that. Another thing I want to point out is you should never argue with your drill sergeant, even if he's wrong. They're still never wrong. So just understand that you're only there for a certain amount of time. Once you're through, you've gotten through. You'll go to a unit. It's a temporary thing, so don't let anything get to you. Just stick it out and understand and remember what you're there to do. What your purpose is, what your goal is, whatever that reason may be. Um, Another thing I want to point out is you're going to be getting an M16 for basic training. Muzzle awareness is huge at basic. Make sure you're never flagging your battle buddies, making sure that you never leave it unattended. Always make sure you know where your weapon is, because God forbid you lose that weapon or leave it in the barracks or whatever the case is. It's you're going to be completely smoked for that one. So make sure you always know where your weapon is. Make sure that if you have to give it off to somebody, make sure it's somebody you trust. And that being said, the biggest thing I would stress is just make sure that you come into basic training understanding that it is mind game. Don't let it get to your head. I know a lot of people that got really depressed there, that um, took everything they said personally, but to be honest with you, looking back, I went to basic training about 2 years ago. Um, it gets better, and it's like it was necessary to really learn. They're trying to compact all that information at one time. Just make sure you're absorbing all that information. I'm going to be deploying to Kuwait soon, so definitely all the things I've learned at basic and AIT definitely apply to the real army. So make sure that you're, you know, paying attention, writing notes down. Um, just have fun with it. Understand that you're going to be, shooting weapons and doing different cadences and marches. Just enjoy the experience. Military's got a lot to offer. It's a lot of fun if you let it be. So that's my advice to you guys. I hope you take it, and good luck at basic training. Thanks, guys.